Okay, we've all been there, right? You get a cut, you're standing in front of the medicine cabinet, and you've got a choice to make. Do you go for something natural, like honey, or the old classic, antibiotic cream? Well, today we're going to settle that debate.
It's the big question, isn't it? What's going to heal this thing faster, honey or that cream? And, the answer might actually surprise you. It's not as simple as you'd think.
All right, let's do it. Let's put him in the ring head to head. In one corner, we have Manuka honey, and in the other, the household name Neosporin. And get this, one of these is actually medical grade used in hospitals. Let's dive in and see which one it is and why.
But wait, before we can even pick a winner, we've got to understand the game. We need to know how a wound actually heals. It's a pretty cool process, honestly. Okay, so it all happens in 3 big stages. Think of it like this. Stage 1 is inflammation. That's like the emergency crew rushing in to clean up the mess and fight off any bad guys, bacteria. Stage 2 is tissue building. This is the construction phase, where your body starts laying down new skin and blood vessels. And finally, stage 3 is remodeling. That's when the new skin gets stronger and finishes the job. And here's the key takeaway, the absolute most important part. Healing isn't just about zapping germs. It's about creating the perfect environment for your body to do its thing.
Okay, first up, let's talk about our natural challenger, Manuka honey.
Right off the bat, I gotta make something super clear. This is not the same honey that's in that little bear-shaped bottle in your kitchen. We're talking about Manuka honey. It's a special type, mainly from New Zealand, and it is absolutely packed with powerful natural antibacterial stuff.
So how does it work? This is where it gets really cool. Manuka honey is like a triple threat. First, it kills bacteria, and even some of the really nasty antibiotic-resistant ones. Second, it calms down that inflammation we talked about. And third, and this is so important, it keeps the wound moist. You know how we used to think you had to let a cut air out? Well, turns out that's totally wrong. Science has shown that a moist environment actually helps you heal faster.
But, and this is a huge but, there's a catch. It absolutely has to be medical grade honey. The stuff you buy at the grocery store just doesn't have the same power, and it's not sterile. So no, you can't just squeeze some from your tea bottle onto a cut.
All right, let's bring in the other contender, the one pretty much everyone has in their bathroom cabinet, the household champion, Neosporin.
Yep, we all recognize this little tube. So what is it? Neosporin is a triple antibiotic ointment. Its one and only job is to kill bacteria on your skin to stop an infection before it starts. Think of it as a highly focused bacterial assassin.
It's definitely great for stopping that initial infection. But here's something you might not know. Some studies have actually shown that for a simple cut, plain old petroleum jelly works pretty much just as well. Why? Because the main thing it's doing is creating a protective, moist barrier. Oh, and there's another thing to keep in mind. Some people can actually become allergic to it if they use it too much.
Okay, we know the players. Now it's time for the showdown. Let's put them side by side and see how they stack up.
So looking at this, you can really see the difference in their game plans. Manuka honey is kind of like the all-rounder. It's antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory, and it creates that perfect moist environment for healing. Neosporin, on the other hand, is a specialist. Its job is to kill bacteria. That's it. So honey tends to be great for slightly more complex things, like a minor burn. Neosporin is your quick and easy go-to for a fresh, simple scrape. So what's the verdict? Well, when you look at all the research, the truth is there's no one-size-fits-all winner. The best choice really, truly depends on what kind of wound you have. And that actually brings us to the most important point of this whole thing. The real winner isn't a product. It's proper care. Seriously, more than what you put on it, it's how you take care of it. Cleaning it, covering it, and keeping it moist, that's the magic formula that actually speeds up healing. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. What does this all mean for you? When you get a cut, what should you actually use?
Here's a super simple way to think about it. Reach for that medical-grade Manuka honey if you have something like a minor burn or maybe a cut that's just taking forever to heal. It's also perfect if you're just looking for a more natural approach. Now, for those everyday fresh cuts and scrapes, Neosporin is a great choice for quick and easy infection protection.
Okay, hang on. I need to stop for a second because what I'm about to say is probably the most important safety note in this entire explainer. So please listen up.
Look, everything we've talked about, honey, Neosporin, all of it is for minor stuff only. If you have a wound that is deep,
if it's bleeding a lot, if it already looks infected, with pus or red streaks spreading out, or if it's from an animal bite, do not mess around with home remedies. That is a job for a doctor, period. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. The big question, is one actually faster? Well, for those trickier minor wounds, like a small burn, the science does seem to suggest that Manuka honey might have a bit of an edge. But for a simple paper cut, honestly, you're probably not going to notice a difference.
So the biggest takeaway here is this. The secret to great wound healing isn't some miracle product you can buy. It's knowledge. It's about understanding the basics. Clean it, cover it, keep it moist, and just giving your body the right setup to work its magic. The cream or the honey, that's just a helper. So the real question is, what are you going to keep in your first aid kit now?